Hey guys, what's up? This is Doug. This is the 13th MIpet vlog, where I talk about starting a company and the experiences I have with starting a company, some things I'm finding that I may be doing well, some things that I'm doing poorly, where you can watch this and maybe it's now or in the future and you can kind of maybe take something from it, and maybe not make some of the mistakes that maybe I'm making, or get something out of this whole video thing. So as of last week, I started saying that I was going to do kind of like a segmented breakdown of every video, and that is no different this week. I'm going to talk about some good, some bad, and then just kind of some stuff. This week I want to start with the bad first. And this week the bad is simply, it's the dead zone of retail. I mean, it continues. We probably sold, a tag last week, which is very not like, one of these things is not like the other. Like, we're in that territory. Now, that's the bad, okay? Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. It's just, we haven't sold some tags. We're trying some stuff. It's a bad time of year to sell anything, really. And we'll be okay. Now, going towards the good is that my brain is thinking of opportunities and things I can do that maybe if we were slammed, super busy or whatever, that maybe I wouldn't be doing or thinking about. And so I'm noticing that I'm looking for opportunities. I'm not getting defeated. I'm not getting sad or bummed out. I mean, to be fair, it's disappointing for sure, but I guarantee you, I talk to anyone who's in the retail industry and I'd say, like, right now they're probably not doing amazing. That doesn't mean that, as a year or as a business, they may not grow over the course of 2018. I'd argue a lot of them will. So with that being said, the good is that my attitude is in the right place. I'm still doing things that I feel like are the consistent things. Obviously, I can always do better, but I try to remind myself, like, hey, you might not sell a tag this week or tomorrow or whatever, but do the small things, right? And that leads me to kind of the other stuff, right? What is the other stuff that this leads to? The good and the bad equal something, right? And what they equal to me right now is that the opportunity for other products. And I don't mean like, hey, we got a tag, let's try other stuff. It's not necessarily like that. But what it is kind of this thing where you start selling tags, you start to learn about your customer base. You learn about some opportunities that the industry, the universe may present. And being that things take time to even, like, if I had the idea, like the best thing in the world that I haven't invented yet, even if I knew what that was right this second, it would take months to execute. So, because that's what happened when we started MIpet. It took a long time to get to what you are actually seeing on our website and hopefully buying MIpetco.com. Throw that out there. But I'm actively engaging in certain things that will lead to new products. And it doesn't mean that we're changing anything. It just means that, we're selling a permanent fixture on an animal, right? It's a pet tag. It's going to stay with them forever. What are some other things that maybe can still have an element where we can still donate, like that's kind of the business practice, but also create something where there's a void. And I don't want to get into too many details here about what those are because I want to flush them out. I don't want to kind of spill everything to these vlogs. I always want to talk about the concepts and things I'm doing. But there are two specific things that I am actively working on every day to kind of bring to market, if you will. I mean, if I'm super slammed, I can't do these things. If I have time, let's rock and roll. Let's knock some of this stuff out. And, there's a ticking timer on my wife being pregnant and my baby boy being born that I have to maximize my time. I have to put it this way. I'm sure I'll say this like ask me in a couple months, right? I'll revisit this, but I will probably be beyond busy and realize the amount of time I probably did have, even though I'd argue I'm utilizing a lot of my free time already. But I will only get better at maximizing my time. But now is the time to think of things, to execute ideas, to think outside the box. It's cliche, I hate the term, but it's true. Now, also, that leads to other things. This is my last point, is that, I make these vlogs every week, but you know, in terms of making content that actually means something, you know, I really want to bring home the point of why MIpet is the best. It's the best tag out in the market. It's the thing that you need to have because of facts, proof. So one of my ideas, and I'm sure by the time my next video too comes out, I'll have done this, but what I want to do is a comparison video, like literally like a Billy Mays, you know, like OxyClean commercial. I mean, minus the production value and all the nonsense, but I want to show that, like, you know, this tag, how permanent it is. I want to show you by taking an anodized aluminum tag, and I want to show you how easy it is to lose the marking. And I want to take a laser engraved, you know, not laser engraved, but like a rotary engraved tag, and how once that thing gets scuffed up, it becomes hard to read, and how our tag has, you know, it's made of stainless steel. Nothing else is really made of stainless steel. It might be made of different alloys, but it's not stainless. It might be made out of aluminum. We use stainless steel, but also we have a high contrast of information. So when you see our product, even on metal, bare, like, you know, polished metal, you still see a high contrast. Unlike when you take, say, a chromed alloy and you permanently, like, I say permanently, when you with an actual physical tool mark the material, once that wears down, there's no contrast to pick up on the information, and over time that can wear. And then on anodized aluminum, based on it usually being a color, that color will fade. I mean, we had a customer, this was a great story, a really great execution of what MIpet is. They're from Oregon, and they bought a MIpet tag because of how we make our tags. And that may be the biggest selling point to this point right now. So I want to make a video or two kind of just showing, like, here's me doing something to this tag to actually, you know, mark it and lose the information, and then do it on our tag, and you can see how much better ours is. You know, I want to kind of show and prove to maybe a complete stranger what makes our tags better. Being that we're online, and I notice online is working infinitely better than any retail stores, because with retail, you're buying a product that you would then have to go home and you don't own. You have to, like, go home and wait for something to ship. We're online, by the way, excuse the furnace in the back just turned on. But when you buy something online, there's an expectation of, I don't get this right now, it's gonna take some time. But when you go to a store to buy something, you expect to go home with that. And I think that is the main selling difference between how we're doing online as a sum and then how we're doing out of in retail, which I can maybe talk about in a future video. But anyway, that's some of the good, that's some of the bad, and that's kind of the stuff in between and what we're doing. So for the 13th video, here we are. We're just moving down the road. We're just gonna keep pushing, and we'll see what happens. But till then, I'll see you guys later.